The governance paradigm in Pakistan, participants, suffers from many crises. And if I have to choose one crisis which is the most major crisis, for me it is crisis of implementation. Our laws, our rules, our regulations, our policies are beautifully worded, spick and span. But when it comes to implementation, there is nothing much, unfortunately, to write back home. This is where, fully cognizant of this crisis of implementation, we tried to depart from the past during the formulation of this policy and tried to do some things differently so that we don't repeat the mistakes of our elders. The first diagnostic was that policies in Pakistan have normally been product of a few outstanding minds without any major consultation. So we chose to make this policy very heavily consultative. Umpteen workshops, focus groups, meetings, consultation, and more consultations. And allow me to claim, ladies and gentlemen, that the stuff we got from the consultations has found its way into the policy. When you will read the final version, many of you would associate that this change was pointed out by me and this is in the policy. The other diagnostic was that policies are made in isolation. So we tried to create as much synergies as possible. No sector can work in isolation, but maritime affairs especially cannot. The ministries directly linked with maritime affairs other than MoMA are defense division, food, commerce, finance, science and technology, to name a few. Commerce, Trading Corporation of Pakistan, this is about the government. And then the terminal operators, the ship owners, the ship breakers. So a huge synergy was required, which we have tried to develop. Third and the final diagnostic was that the policies have been written for ideal circumstances. That's why naturally they didn't work. So what we have tried is to make it as realistic, as dovetailed with the ground realities, as implementable as possible. So this is where, ladies and gentlemen, we have tried to learn from the past, and as a break from the past, we have tried to do these three aspects differently, and we sincerely hope that this policy will inshallah be implemented, and trust me, it won't take 23 more years for the next revision. It's a living document, it's a dynamic document, and we'll keep on revising it as and when required. We are a maritime nation, we are a responsible maritime nation, we have a huge EEZ and continental shelf. Synergy I have talked about. The aim, allow me to read from the slide, providing a purposeful sense of direction to synergize. Synergy is the key word you'll find at many places. To synergize efforts towards realizing our true maritime potential. And what is the true maritime potential? I, for one, don't know exactly. I have a fair idea, but if you ask me to quantify that true maritime potential, I cannot. That's why, as Saab has pointed out, we have embarked upon devising a ports master plan so that we exactly know. We often hear about unlocking the potential. What is the potential? Realizing the potential. What is the potential? So this, our post master plan would tell us. Section 2 is blue economy. We'll create awareness on blue economy. We'll try to get it added to syllabi at different levels, and we'll have massive awareness campaigns. Ports and harbors. Capacities of ports we developed. E-ports. And as the minister very rightly pointed out, transshipment, transit trade, this all as policy directives for ports and harbors. Maritime trade and shipping. Upgrade RSOCs, companies carrying capacity to 40% by 2047. 2047 may look odd because policies are normally for 20-25 years, and if we calculate from 2025 to 2047, it gets 22 years, which may seem odd. It is actually till the 100th birthday of Pakistan. So this is why it has been kept till 2047. So this is all for RSOCs. I mean, this is self-explanatory, don't really need any explanation. Bioresource potential. Again, potential, which we are not sure what is our potential. Ban on destructive fishing practices be strictly implemented. Again, crisis of implementation. Laws, rules, spick and span. Very meaningful provisions about the illegal fishing. But again, when it comes to implementation. Natural fish breeding grounds, quality, capacity, and hygiene of catch. All fish harbors be upgraded at par with international standards. Fishing boats and its equipment. Declaration of marine protected area will contribute towards sustainable fishing resources and aquaculture. One of the reforms, Secretary Saab had so many reforms to spell out that what he could not tell you is that for the first time in the history of Pakistan, Ministry of Maritime Affairs has got enacted aquaculture rules. So now we have aquaculture rules. Now we have a framework under which aquaculture has to operate. Now we have a framework under which we can export aquaculture. So the rules have been made last year. Maritime security. This is all about narratives, you know. So our purpose in the policy is to develop a narrative, peaceful Pakistan waters, which are actually peaceful, but we need to develop that narrative. We need to develop that trademark, peaceful Pakistan waters, and then necessary measures to counter coercive actions by enemy states. Operating of unauthorized military vessels is not allowed. Monitoring surveillance of the Pakistani waters and high seas. A comprehensive salvage plan, and to mitigate risks of cyber warfare, robust cyber security and protocols. Revamping shipbuilding and repair industry. Shipbuilding and repair facilities be optimized up to 50,000 tons by the year 2035, enhancing capacities for construction of vessels for public and private ship owners, warships for PN and portcraft for local port authorities, establishing commercial shipyards, ship repair facilities near Pakistani ports. The only shipyard which we have in the public sector now, as Secretary pointed out, we have ordered a container ship to Karachi shipyard, which hopefully would be with us in 2026. And then classification societies be registered. Again, I'm very happy to share and announce that the first classification society of Pakistan, Bharia Classification Society, has been recognized as a recognized organization, and it is legally allowed to issue certificates now. Ship recycling industry, we have to make this is where a bit of a challenge is. We have to make this industry Hong Kong Convention compliant by the given timeline, and given timeline is not far, 26th of June 2025. So it's a race against time, but trust us, we are doing our best. In close collaboration with Government of Balochistan, we are trying to cover the mileage quickly. And in line with international best practice, industry be developed as green ship recycling industry. Ship recycling was declared industry at the provincial level by Balochistan a few decades ago, but unfortunately at the federal level, as I speak, it's still not declared as an industry. We are endeavoring to convince Ministry of Industries that ship recycling has to be declared as industry. Green ship recycling business, banks to provide finances to private sector, digital one window, and ministries and departments to ensure domestic legislation and implementation of requisite measures to implement international instruments. Maritime education and training. Inclusion of maritime subjects in all undergraduate programs by HEC. Establishment of maritime science and technology parks. Establishment of joint consultative committees. Maritime technical education for seafarers, fishermen, machine operators, and ports. And developing a database for all skilled, semi-skilled, and unskilled maritime workforce. Marine scientific research. Develop a marine scientific data repository, capacity building of professionals, technical cooperation and knowledge sharing, and creating enabling environment for optimal use of marine renewable energies. Hydrography. Develop hydrographic data gathering programs to raise safety of navigation, develop standards, explore technical cooperation, continue international responsibilities, and capacity building of National Institute of Oceanography for effective representation at international fora. Marine pollution and environmental preservation. This is a subject, ladies and gentlemen, which is very close to our minister's heart. He would always tell us to do something about marine pollution, and we have been endeavoring to do it, though the progress is not much, but at least a start has been made, and we plan to build on that. Compliance with international and regional conventions, National Environmental Policy 2005 be reviewed. Again, 20 years, and we are talking of review now. And this is where I promise you that next revision of this policy will, inshallah, not take 23 years. Marine pollution control strategy, monitoring and protection, ballast water convention be considered for ratification, and scrubber use must be banned. Regional and international cooperation. Participate in IMO activities, actively participate in other international organs, establish Pak Gulf Cooperation Organization, and establish a forum of Western Indian Ocean. Maritime coordination, ladies and gentlemen. Biannual meeting of National Maritime Board, chaired by the Prime Minister, be arranged. I mean, it's already in the policy. Again, that implementation. Now we'll try to make efforts that this meeting under the chair of the Prime Minister is held biannually as envisaged. And then we have, below that, this board, we have a National Maritime Coordination Committee, which is chaired by our minister, will also have regular meetings of this forum as well. Marine and coastal tourism, development of coastal, marine and ecotourism sites, religious and historical sites, supporting infrastructure, development of marina, and ferry service. Coastal zone risks and integrated coastal zone management. Adaptation response plan shall be developed, National Integrated Coastal Zone Management Plan, and awareness and understanding of climate change. Maritime clusters. Identify strategic maritime clusters, collaborate with financial institutions, establish dedicated maritime industrial parks, encourage collaboration between academia and industry, establish maritime centers of excellence, and establish a single window clearance mechanism to expedite approvals. Well, this is about it, ladies and gentlemen. I thank you all.